Hello guys, welcome back to my channel Grab Your Notes. This is Deshna, and today from the caption itself you might have understood that we are going to deal with the topic Doctrine of Basic Structure. So basically the Doctrine of Basic Structure is related to two important articles of our Indian Constitution, that is Article 13 and Article 368. Article 13 is the protector of fundamental rights. It gives power to the Supreme Court to declare any law as null and void if it violates the fundamental rights. And Article 368 gives the power to the Parliament to amend the Constitution. So this doctrine evolved through a series of case laws which dealt with a conflict in regard to a question that which is supreme among the both, the Parliament or the judiciary. So that's what we are going to deal in today's notes. So let's get started. So, according to the Constitution, the Parliament and the state legislature can make laws within their jurisdiction. The power to amend the Constitution is only with the Parliament and not the state legislative assemblies. However, this power of Parliament is not absolute. The Supreme Court has the power to declare any law that finds unconstitutional as void. As per the Basic Structure Doctrine, any amendment that tries to change the basic structure of the Constitution is invalid. Now let us know what is the Basic Structure Doctrine. Actually, there is no mention of the term basic structure anywhere in the Indian Constitution. The idea that the Parliament cannot introduce laws that would amend the basic structure of the Constitution evolved gradually over time and many cases. The idea is to preserve the nature of the Indian democracy and protect the rights and liberties of people. It was the Keshavananda Bharati case that brought this doctrine into limelight. It held that basic structure of the Indian Constitution cannot be abrogated even by a constitutional amendment. The judgment listed some basic structure of the Constitution as supremacy of the Constitution, unity and sovereignty of India, democratic and republic form of government, federal character of the Constitution, secular character of the Constitution, separation of powers, individual freedom, etc. Over time, many other features have also been added to the list of basic structural features. Some of them are rule of law, judicial review, parliamentary system, harmony and balance between the fundamental right and DPSP, etc. Any law or amendment that violates these principles can be struck down by the Supreme Court on the grounds that they distort the basic structure of the Constitution. As I have already mentioned, the concept of basic structure has evolved through a series of case laws. And the first case among those case laws is Shankari Prasad versus Union of India. So before going to the notes, let me give you a background about this case. In this case, the first Constitutional Amendment Act was challenged which abolished the Zamindari system. So with this amendment, a lot of laws were brought into action which actually violated the right to property in the eye of people. And in order to justify those laws, they added Article 31A and 31B into the Constitution. So the question arose was that whether the Parliament has the right to amend the fundamental rights that is given under our Constitution. In this case, the Supreme Court contended that the Parliament's power of amending the Constitution under Article 368 included the power to amend the fundamental rights guaranteed in Part 3 as well. And our next case under discussion is Sajjan Singh versus State of Rajasthan 1965. In this case, the 17th Amendment Act was challenged which was restricting the power of the High Court. In this case also, the Supreme Court held that the Parliament can amend any part of the Constitution including fundamental rights. The two dissenting judges in this case remarked whether the fundamental rights of citizen could become a plaything of the majority party in parliament. And there comes the next case, Golaknath versus State of Punjab 1967. In this case, the court revised its earlier stance that fundamental rights can be amended. It said that the fundamental rights are not amenable to the parliamentary restrictions as stated in Article 13, and that to amend the fundamental rights, a new constituent assembly would be required. And also stated that Article 368 gives the procedure to amend the constitution but does not confer on Parliament the power to amend the constitution. Then there comes the famous landmark case, that is Keshavanda Bharati versus State of Kerala 1973. This was a landmark case in defining the concept of the basic structure doctrine. The Supreme Court held that although no part of the constitution, including fundamental rights, was beyond the Parliament's amending power, the basic structure of the constitution could not be abrogated even by a constitutional amendment. The judgment implied that the Parliament can only amend the constitution and not rewrite it. The power to amend is not a power to destroy. This is the basis in Indian law in which the judiciary can strike down any amendment passed by Parliament that is in conflict with the basic structure doctrine of the constitution. And the next important case is Indira Nehru Gandhi versus Raj Narayan 1978. In this case, the Supreme Court applied the theory of basic structure and struck down clause 4 of Article 329A, which was inserted by the 39th Amendment in 1975 on the grounds that it was beyond the Parliament's amending power as it destroyed the Constitution's basic features. The 39th Amendment was passed by the Parliament during the emergency period. This Act placed the election of the President, Vice President, Prime Minister and the Speaker of the Lok Sabha beyond the scrutiny of the judiciary. Actually, this was done by the government in order to suppress Indira Gandhi's prosecution by the Allahabad High Court for corrupt electoral practices. And the next comes the Minerva Mills case 1980. This case again strengthens the basic structure doctrine. The judgment struck down two changes made to the Constitution by the 42nd Amendment Act 1976, declaring them to be violative of the basic structure. The judgment makes it clear that the Constitution and not the Parliament is supreme. In this case, the court added two features to the list of basic structure features. They were judicial review and the balance between fundamental rights and TPSP. The judges ruled that a limited amending power itself is a basic feature of the Constitution. And our next case under discussion is Vaman Rao versus Union of India 1981. In this case, the Supreme Court again reiterated the basic structure doctrine. It also drew a line of demarcation as April 24, 1973, the date of Keshavanda Bharati's judgment, and held that it should not be applied retrospectively to reopen the validity of any amendment to the Constitution which took place prior to that date. Altogether, the Vaman Rao's case held that amendments made to the 9th schedule until the Keshavanda's judgment are valid. Those passed after the date can be subject to scrutiny. Let's come to the next case, that is Indira Savne and others versus Union of India 1992. In this case, the Supreme Court examined the scope and extent of Article 16 Clause 4, which provides for the reservation of jobs in favor of the backward classes. It also upheld the constitutional validity of 27% of reservation for the OBCs with certain conditions. And the important fact about this case is that rule of law was added to the list of basic features of the Constitution. And finally, the last case under today's discussion is S.R. Bommai versus Union of India 1994. In this case, what happened actually was that the features like federal structure, unity and integrity of India, secularism, socialism, judicial review were established and reiterated as basic features of our Constitution. So that's it. This was just a basic idea regarding the basic structure doctrine. Hope you find it helpful. So guys, let's continue in the next video. Happy learning, guys!